We are live. This is exciting. I haven't streamed in a while, so it's fun to be back at it. So I guess we can start with just like introducing ourselves. Morgan, do you want to start and then like I can finish or?
Yeah. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Morgan
Putting
Lee.
you on the spot.
I thought I was ready, but then it left my brain. Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Morgan Lee. I am a indie author of 2 books. The first 2 in a dark fantasy series, Seed Among the Rocks and I said it backwards. Seed Among the Thorns and Seed Among the Rocks. The first 2 in a dark fantasy trilogy. I stream on my channel every other Monday at 8 a.m. So you can hang out with me over there, and eventually I will post videos again on my channel. So subscribe and look forward to that. So that's it. That's me.
Great. And people, it is early for most of us. So if for some of us are like stumbling on words, I know I probably will, just so everybody's aware. Sam, do you want to go? And somebody says, I see a cat in the dark.
Yes, she's trying to get comfortable, but I'm at just enough of an angle that she like can't lay across my shoulder and not feel like she's gonna slip. So she's having a time figuring it out. And I am writing mom, Samantha L Nasset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, writer-parent things. I host live streams like these on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you would like to read samples of my writing, you can go to my website, samanthallnasset.com, where I have a spooky flash fiction and a villainous murder short story. And if you would like to keep up to date with all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter. I also host a writing group on Discord via my Coffee Ko-fi Ko-fi, which is just the $1 tier. And I help co-organize and run the Storytellers Hearth. And I hope everyone's showers are going well.
Oh my god, that cat is so cute. I'm sorry, I'm trying to listen to your intro, but I'm like, he's so cute.
I was here at the 20 minutes to go, and for about 5-10 minutes, she just sat here rubbing her face on my face. So,
so cute.
She is the patron saint of my live streams. So,
yeah.
And she like glows on camera, like the white of her fur is luminescent.
Adorable.
Yeah, we're talking about you. This is Artemis.
Artemis.
Aww.
Love it.
That's a great name. That's a really great name. Oh, well, I am Emma Bennet. If you don't already know me, I'm a UK-based writer and YouTuber, I guess, although it sounds funny to say that. I write contemporary romances and the occasional children's picture book. I have an ebook box set available of 5 of my books at the moment, which is ridiculously cheap. My links will be down in the chat. But yeah, the box set is a great way. If you fancy some like sweet contemporary romances, it's a great way to read them all very cheaply.
Amazing.
I know I am at just the wrong angle for you, aren't I?
I'm Hananya. I am a multi-genre writer who just kind of does whatever, and I vlog about it on my channel, so come hang out with me there. I have a podcast as well with 2 writing friends where we talk about writing and books and life, so you can also come hang there, and yeah, that's about it.
Amazing. And people, I did link everybody watching. I did have links for everybody down below in the description, so if you want to follow anybody, down below. In terms of me, I'm Maya. I like to talk about all things stories, creativity, and empowerment on my channel. I've starting to post videos again soon. I have a couple of edited, so that's coming soon if you did want to subscribe. And again, I do like a variety of videos again on writing, reading, but also kind of like on stories that we can find in all different places, like stories for history and stories for art and music, etc. In the writing world, I write under many different genres. So I write children's books, nonfiction under Maya, and I also have a romance pen name where I write some romance stuff. And I have a few things published there, but they're separate right now, so I'm not going to say what my romance pen name right at this moment. So that's a bit about me. I think a few people jumped in, so we'll say hi. Hello, Cool Gamer. It's a cool name. I like that name. Then we got Kelly. Hi, Kelly. It's early. I think a lot of writers seem to be night people. Like, am I the only morning person?
Yeah, I do morning streams, and there's like no one ever comes hang out. Like, there's few people who come and hang out at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, I'm like, definitely a morning person. I do have like some questions ready, so if the chat's not very active, I have like a little game prepared, so we'll see.
Look at you being all prepared.
Yeah, I want to play a game.
I'll just see one more comment here quickly. Wilma, hello, Wilma. So she's saying hi.
Hello.
All right. So yeah, I guess we could start a game and do a bit of that, and then we can do a sprint. So it's kind of, you've probably heard of it. Would you rather? Have you heard of Would You Rather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is Would You Rather Writer Edition.
Okay.
And there's a variety of. Sorry.
Brilliant.
Thank you. I just thought that would be fun. It's a good way to kind of have like a theme to all the questions. And if you're in the chat and you want to participate, please do. So I'm gonna choose one. I wrote them all, so you'll see them on the banner. Let's see. Trying to think of one that's like easy to like ease people into it, like not like a hard one to start.
Well, you could just throw us in the deep end.
Yeah,
I
just
could.
Okay,
I'm just gonna do them in order. Why not? Just go first.
We can take it. Professionals.
So, would you rather write a book with no periods or italics, or write a book with no quotation marks?
No quotation marks.
Yeah, no quotation marks.
Yeah.
That was fast.
I was gonna go for
That'd
that
be
one as
fine.
well. Because no periods.
Yeah.
I'm dyslexic.
Really
That would
difficult.
murder me.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, I'd rather have no quotation marks.
Yeah.
But like, you could use, I don't know, if you want to be like fancy, you could use like different types of punctuation.
Exclamation marks after
And
every
question
line.
marks in there.
So much
Question
yelling in this book.
Around the dialogue, so that's dialogue. But just put parentheses around it. I don't
Yeah,
know, or something else, some other key instead
Yeah.
of quotation marks to signify this person's talking.
Yeah.
Sure. Have you guys ever read a book with weird?
Parentheses.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever read a book with like odd punctuation?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think there's like a
saw-
few.
I saw
sorry.
something on like it was either on Facebook or something where somebody wrote a book without any periods, and it was just a flow of text. I forget which book it was, but I was like, why would anybody
Why would you want to read that as well?
Yeah, I think like I read a few in university with no quotation marks, and it's odd, but it works if you I don't know, it doesn't really work, but in like an artsy way it works, if that makes sense. All right, so that was an easy one. You guys were like right away. You're like, I know what this is.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one. Would you rather someone burn your book or leave a bad review?
Burn it. Just burn
I
it and
care
leave me a good
so
review.
little
Yeah,
about.
burn them all.
I don't know. I'm almost like bad review is also a review. At least you've heard of me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I
I'll-
would say
I'll take the burned book because once you get to 100 reviews on Amazon, they start marketing your book. So
So you take the review?
yeah, I'll take the review.
Okay.
They can burn my book. I don't care. They already paid me, presumably. Do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
What would you do, Morgan?
I would rather somebody leave a bad review than burn my book.
Oh, that's so sweet. You care about your books more than we do.
I mean, just the thought of somebody burning any book is just like it
It's
hurts
sad.
my head.
Yeah,
Like, no, don't burn the books.
I know. Once, like a little sidebar. Once, my parents have like a kind of like a cottage, which was like passed down from their parents, etc. And somebody nearby, like does construction, but also empties old buildings. And one of the old buildings he emptied was like a bookstore. But this guy hasn't read, he's told me proudly that he hasn't read a book since high school. So he's like very much like not into reading. And so anyways, long story short, they're like, hey, Maya loves reading. You know, if you have extras, you should let her know. And so I go over to his house. He has them in like an old like a truck, but like a park truck, if that makes sense. Like one of those like shipping containers almost.
Right.
The books are really damaged, but there is some good ones, but I can't take all of them. It's like an entire shipping container of books. And so he looks at me and he's like, well, take what you want. Whatever you don't use, I'm just going to burn. And then I was like, I can't take them all. What am I going to do?
Save the books.
Donate them somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
Well, if they're not in good condition, there's one motorway in the UK, and I feel it's the M3, but apparently, like the foundation or whatever you call it is Mills and Boon books that were just used underneath it for like the basis of it. I don't know the engineering words. I'm a writer.
Like the highway is like paved with Mills and Boon books.
No, it's like the base layer of it, if you like, and then they put the
Like the
tarmac and whatever.
Like they put a layer of foundation that is books, and then they put the cement over the books.
Yeah, or maybe they mulch them up or whatever. I don't know, but basically the foundation of it is Mills and Boon books.
Wow.
I wonder if like, so some romance books are actually like really collectible. I follow this girl on, I know I'm getting off track, but that's okay. We have time.
It's a social stream.
Exactly. There's this girl I follow on Instagram, and she's like a rare book collector, and she started a newsletter. I think she's called like Rebecca Romney. It's Type Matrix Publishing, if anybody wants to look into it. But she started a newsletter just like showcasing rare romance books, and some of them are like Harlequins and stuff. Like you wouldn't think romance books are collectible, but they are, which is, you know, maybe there's some Mills and Boon under the highway that were really collectible.
Yeah.
I don't think I answered the question. I think leave a bad review as well. Save the book.
Yeah. They read it, or hopefully they read it.
Yeah.
Review.
I mean, unless like you needed the warmth, then you can go ahead and burn my book if you need the warmth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Only option.
Yeah. All right. I think there's some people who answered. So let me just flip over here. Wilma's saying I'm more of a morning person, but it's 3 p.m. here. Is 3 p.m. morning for you? I don't know. Some people I know are like, good morning, and it's like 3 p.m.
No.
I'm like, sorry, what?
No, Wilma is a morning person, but it's not morning for her right now because it's 3 in the afternoon.
She's like, yeah,
makes sense.
She's in the Netherlands.
Nice.
Hey, Wilma.
Oh. Yeah, hi Wilma.
Country buddies.
Yeah. Do you guys know each other? I mean, I know just because you live in the same country.
Oh, I do, yeah. Oh.
I haven't met Wilma before.
Wilma,
Hi, Wilma.
Hananya, Wilma. There we go.
Wilma would burn it and buy a new one. Okay.
Okay. I mean, double royalties, I guess. So
Yeah. I mean,
sure.
people want to pay me twice for a
Yeah.
book. That's fine.
Sure.
All right. You guys want to do another one?
Sure.
Yeah.
Trying to find a good one. I have like a few here, so I'm just reading through them. This one's kind of more of like a casual one. Would you rather write in a rooftop garden surrounded by city noises, or in a quiet studio with cows as your neighbors?
I'd say rooftop garden. I don't live in this. I don't live in a city, but like when I visited the city, like I really like the city. So I think I could tune out the city noises, and it'd be a nice background just to like get me to zone into the writing. Because I need a lot of background noise because I can't do silence. So city noises would be fine. And then I'm in a garden on a rooftop. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah.
So you've got, first of all, you've got the rooftop, and I don't like heights, so I would be feeling like I was going to die. Yeah, and the city noises, no. I grew up in London 23 years I lived in London, but now I'm a country mouse, and I have actually had cows as neighbours. Now, cows are quite noisy neighbours at times, but I think I would definitely go with the cows. And I could go and have a chat with them when I was having a break.
Do you ever get like, you're writing and you hear moo and you're like, what's going on? And you get like distracted.
Well, we don't have them as neighbours anymore. We used to live on a farm. And yeah, it was pretty noisy at times, especially when the calves are taken away from their moms. That was horrible. That was really horrible. You always knew when that had happened because they'd be crying. So that was not. Yeah, if that's happening, then no, I'll face the rooftop and just stay away from the edge.
I would make me cry. Like hearing like a cow being taken away from their mom. Oh my god.
I don't know. I was gonna say
right.
almost. Sorry, you go first, Sam.
Rooftop garden, probably, because I'd get too distracted in a little countryside thing.
Fair.
I'm from Tennessee, so if given the chance, I'm gonna go outside and check it out.
Yeah, true. I would say I'd probably like the studio and just have like peace and quiet. I feel like I'd get too distracted with like too much noise. I like having some noise in the background, but more so like, lo-fi music or like ambient sound, but not necessarily city. Like I'm thinking New York City, like loud sirens all the time, and I'm like, I don't want
and that's like, for me, I'm like, yes, I need the chaos around me so I can hide away in my writing hole. I don't know. I'm just weird like that.
I also need lots of background noise, so
yeah,
that's not weird. It just shows that we're all different, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
I grew up in a big family where there was always noise, so it's the quiet that I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, I like added this question, but I don't know how to answer it. Like, part of me is like the Wi-Fi is one of the things. Like, if I could have good Wi-Fi, I'd probably do a quiet studio. But like someone who lives like more like in a rural area, I know like the internet can be really bad. Then if you're like in a city, there's a lot of stuff to do around. Like you can go like for a coffee break. You can just like ride down the elevator, go for a coffee break. Hard to choose. I'm gonna go.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I'll just do a rooftop garden because it's something different than what I usually do. So that would be my.
But also, though, if we're on a rooftop garden, would there be bees and wasps dive bombing us when we were trying to write?
True.
I don't mind bees. I'll kill the wasp. It's fine.
I'm not a huge fan of bees. I mean, I think I might be allergic. I haven't gotten like stung yet, but I have people in my family who are allergic, so like I don't want to test that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't test that theory.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody in the comments has said what they would do. All right. Let's do one more just for fun. And then we can maybe do a sprint after. I'm trying to pick a good one. Okay, this was interesting. So would you rather die in obscurity but one day have your work as widely read and admired as Fitzgerald? Or would you rather be loved in your lifetime but then be almost totally forgotten?
Oh.
Ooh.
Love me in my lifetime.
Yeah, I would agree. I would rather be loved in my lifetime than forgotten, because what does being remembered after I'm dead do for me? Like, it doesn't do anything for me. I'm not here to like enjoy it. So I feel like it's almost tragic when like authors or artists like are only loved after they're dead, and it's just like, well dang. They spent their whole life doing this thing, and it's just like they didn't get the accolades or the attention or the
money
from it, or the money or anything. And now you love them because they're dead. Like, it's, I don't know, it seems tragic.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Rather have it in my lifetime.
Yeah, what's the point after you're dead?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it always happens though, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
people don't pay attention to artists until they're gone. They're like, "Oh man, that person was really good." You're
Yeah.
like, oh, they're
I don't
gone.
know. Neil Gaiman and Stephen King got a lot of attention, and they still not dead.
It's true.
Probably
But then,
get
like,
even
you
more
think-
popular once they do die.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that, like, you know, in like 50 years, you'd still know Stephen King and all those like big names that we know now?
I think
Probably.
so.
Yes.
Yeah. I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't think my memory is going to be that bad in 50 years. Like my grandparents still remember the people who were famous when they were kids. So
That's true.
And then especially like because their works have been, you know, translated to other mediums, like, you know, movies we have, you know,
Yeah.
or shows.
I feel like
Live on.
I feel like the artist who is not appreciated within their lifetime isn't as much a thing anymore because like the times of which that was a thing, it was more because it just took that long for their work to be distributed or for that many people to be exposed to it. Whereas now it's everything's a lot more accessible.
Mhm.
So it's easier for people to get that stuff out.
Yeah.
It's true. Times have changed.
Times have changed.
But it's true. You kind of want to reap the benefits, right, while you're alive.
Yeah.
Because
We don't want to be starving artists.
Yeah,
We
no
want
thank you.
to be successful. So yeah.
sorry, I see a comment here that I approve of. So Laura says, "I'm back. May I propose a third
Ooh,
location
yes.
in the Library of Victorian
think-
Manor during a thunderstorm?" Yes.
This
Mhm.
depends, Laura. Has
Yes.
this thunderstorm triggered my migraines?
No.
Oh.
True.
If this is a magic thunderstorm that doesn't trigger my migraines, then I shall take it because rain and thunderstorms are my favorite weather. They just don't love me.
Oh.
But what if it was like a Victorian manor with like one of those like soundscapes and like black curtains?
The barometric pressure cares not about soundproofing.
No, but I mean like it's not raining outside. It's just like thunder sounds.
Oh,
Warm
maybe.
sounds.
It's not as fun, but
Yeah. You need the good like lightning and like.
We'll just do a
simulation,
simulation.
like room, a cinematic around.
everyone's just gonna set up a thunderstorm simulation for me. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
Make it happen, people. Make it happen.
Somebody's on the roof just like
We
pouring
have the
water
technology.
outside the window.
It's like, they've got the little thing on.
Or a sheet pan, like whoosh,
Yeah.
and rice falling in the pan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's like an hour
Did my
later. Is she done writing yet? I'm tired of like doing this pan.
Tell her it's time for a break. I'm sorry if my sheet pan imitation disturbed you.
The cat's like, "How dare you?"
She's like, I was sleeping, mother.
Kelly says, "I love me a good coffee shop." Yes, I agree. I don't have good coffee shops near me. Like I have a Starbucks, but I want a good indie coffee shop that I can go to. Like that's not as much of a thing.
We have one that's been here apparently for at least 3 years because when we go in there, it's got an award for the past 3 years for being the best coffee shop in our town, and my children are obsessed with it now. Their like caramel apple drink is just like drinking a liquid apple pie, and I am obsessed with it. It is good in both hot and cold.
That sounds amazing. During my lifetime, yeah. That seems to be the consensus. I think we all went with that. It's a magical thunderstorm summoned by the ghost of the former lady of the house who haunts the poetry section of the library.
Or right.
So specific.
I have to go there then. Like she was polite enough to summon a magical thunderstorm.
She's a nice former lady of the house. Still being like, goodness, you know,
good
like
hostess.
hospitality.
She's still doing her job as lady of the house, treating her guests.
All right, so how about we jump into the first sprint? Does that sound good with everybody? Okay, I think I'm gonna use Laura's timer of offer 2 pets because I just find it adorable.
Artemis, you're in that timer.
Artemis is in it. My dog Zoe's in it too. Any other pets?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dog is in it.
Oh, I have 5 other pets in the timer.
That makes up
Alright.
for no pets for me. So
Oh,
Yeah.
We can
you can
share.
share mine.
exactly.
All right.
She's like desperately trying to figure out how she can sleep on me at this angle.
1 second here. I am rusty at doing this, so
Are you just sleeping sitting up? She's just kind of like.
I don't know why it's not letting me. Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna try one more thing. Technical difficulties. If you have the bingo card, go ahead and add that.
You're just lucky I can read over you. Otherwise, I'd have to kick you off.
So Laura added in the chat, she has a locket containing hair and a drop of blood from her and her husband each, braided together, never to part but by death. Dun, dun, dun.
Laura, write the whole story. I need to know what happens.
For a second, I thought you just meant Laura had this. I forgot she was not married for a moment, and I was like, "That's all right." It's like that tracks.
Oh goodness. Sorry, 1 more second. It just wants to show my entire screen. I'm like, no, I just want you to show this individual screen. So
If you need one of us to set up a timer, just let us know.
okay, perfect. I will try one more time.
Yeah. Hi, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
My computer likes to be weird sometimes, so. All right, I'll try one more time, and if not, I will get somebody else to present it. All right, somebody else is gonna have to do it because I'm not sure why it's not working.
The 20-minute one, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Go back 2 seconds. There we go.
All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go. Happy sprinting, everybody. And that's time. So, fixing that. There we go. How did everybody do?
I'm finishing this thought so I don't lose it. Everybody else go on.
Let's see.
I got coffee.
Yay!
I got water.
I got water.
Isn't this cute?
I got
It's
water
dollar
and
store.
I did
So,
some
I know, I
outlining.
think it's just so summary. Sorry, Emma, what were you saying?
Oh, I'm just outlining for next month's Camp Nano. So yeah, it's coming along okay.
Nice.
That's good. What's your goal for Camp Nano?
I'm going to write my first Regency romance. Is the plan, but turns out I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing this month, is learning how to.
Can I ask what, because I'm interested in romance, I also write romance, what tropes are you going for? Like, is there specific tropes that you're going for?
So there's definitely going to be, it's like enemies to lovers, but kind of only one of them hates the other one. And he falls first, because I love he falls first. But I haven't decided on any others yet. There might be one or two more in there.
Nice.
Love it.
I did a bit of writing, only like 46 words, and then I did some research to possible topics if we need it, if we need other topics for later on in the stream. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
I finished writing all of the fight scenes in my outline last night. So at the moment, I'm going through and reading my outline from top to bottom to see it, because I have a few spots where it says, where I have like a blue highlighted note that's all like, might need to add a scene here. I don't know. So I'm like, so I'm rereading it to make sure that there's like nowhere that I need to add transitioning scenes, or that like I didn't just skip things.
Yeah,
Then I added about 100 words.
that's good.
I wrote 718.
Impressive.
Nice.
Surprising.
What about you, Hananya?
I mean, I got coffee. That's what I did. No, I started editing something, but not necessarily words. Let's put it that way.
I don't think, we don't think we mentioned what we were all working on. Do you guys want to mention what you're working on? Like, we know Emma is working on her Regency, but anybody else want to mention what they're working on?
I was supposed to revise my book. That's what I told myself I was going to do in the streams, and then I decided I was going to do something else. So now I'm just editing stuff, like video stuff.
I'm working on a shifter pit fighter story about a jaguar shifter pit fighter who is helping an uptown socialite not be murdered.
Oh,
And there be queer romance in here.
that's a kind thing to do, to stop someone being murdered.
Yeah.
It's not entirely altruistic. She
Oh.
got a thing for her, but you know.
Mm.
She's like, maybe if I help her not get murdered, I'll get a date. No, I'm kidding. Well, like half kidding. Like, that's not why she's helping her, but she's not going to turn down a date.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has to be alive to get a date with her, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm also acting as pillow in bed for
So cute.
this gal.
What about you, Morgan?
I am working on a cozy fantasy story. So, in the 24-hour novel challenge. So, that's what I'm working on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
I love a good
excited
cozy
for the
fantasy.
concept.
So what makes a fantasy cozy, if it's a cozy fantasy? I don't think I've ever read a cozy fantasy.
I haven't read many. I have a bunch on my TBR. But from my understanding, it's just like, it's more slice of life, lower stakes, and not like no one's trying to like save the world. There's not a lot of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just lower stakes fantasy.
Okay.
Everybody else has a definition.
And like feel good vibes, right?
Yeah,
Like,
and just like
just
it feels like a feel good story. The mine is gonna have like it's gonna have a mystery element as well. So like cozy mystery of like they're gonna be solving like a puzzle or a crime or something, but mostly like feel good vibes and low stakes is my understanding. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
it's like a feeling.
Yeah.
It's like cozy mysteries too. It's like, okay, well, there's murder, but it's still cozy somehow. Like,
They're drinking tea while investigating.
yeah.
The murder's already happened. No one is at risk of being murdered, therefore
Yeah.
it's cozy.
Okay.
But it's kind of like, like, have you ever watched Murder, She Wrote?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah.
murder.
I mean, it's oldie, like not that old, but it's older, but it's good. And like it's cozy, but then she's still in high stakes situations sometimes. But it's like still somehow cozy. I'm working on a werewolf romance book that I think I'm going to do like as a serial novel. So I'm playing with that. We don't have Kindle Vella in Canada yet. It's still US only. So
Yeah.
I might do Wattpad. I'm playing with like where I would publish it. But it's kind of more like a exercise in having fun because I feel like I'm lately like too much in my head when I'm writing. So it's going to be really like just like have fun, get stuff on the page, I'll make sure to put like a disclaimer at the beginning, like this is like for fun. It's not like as polished as my usual stuff. It's just kind of like for fun. Yeah. I'm going to edit, of course, like the chapters before I post them, but not as extensively as I normally would. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a author, Shannon McGuire. I can't remember her first name, but she writes fan fiction under pen name and refuses to give out her pen name to her readers. And she's like, look, if you find me on fan fiction, if you realize it's me, she's like, just don't say anything. And she's like, it's because she's a like professional author, and so she doesn't want people to judge her fan fiction based on that, because she's like, I write my fan fiction for fun. It's gonna be like messy, there's gonna be typos. It's like just
And that's the worry, right? Like that was one of the reasons why I kind of put it off. I'm like, what if people read my work like, on Wattpad or wherever I post it, and it's not like, my polished, highly edited work. It's just kind of like a, quick edit work, and they judge the rest of my stuff based on that, right? So that was kind of like one of my concerns. So I'm hoping that disclaimer at the beginning, being like, hello, this is not finished, will be enough. But yeah, I know like a lot of authors actually start off with fan fiction. Cassandra Clare started off with fan fiction. Sarah J. Maas started off with fan fiction. So there's a lot of like fairly popular names that started off that way. I'll go catch up on the comments quickly. Well, so I haven't done that. So SD, is it Houston?
yes,
Okay,
SD
right.
Houston.
Perfect. I'm French, so sometimes I'm like, I don't know if I'm like reading this right. Okay, so she popped in. Hello, thank you for liking. I appreciate that. Got her coffee ready to get going. Anybody else here doesn't drink coffee, or is that just me?
Just you.
Just me. Yeah. When I tell other writers I don't drink coffee, they're like, "You don't drink coffee?"
To be fair, I started drinking coffee to help with my migraines.
Okay.
And so I largely don't drink coffee unless I'm using it to help with a migraine.
Does that help with migraines, like coffee?
It can, yeah. So the thing with migraines, at least when you have chronic migraines, is there's a list of things that could be triggers or could help. So like coffee helps my migraines, can trigger migraines in other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to test it out. My doctor, like the doctor I saw for my migraines, said to take like some supplements that can sometimes like help reduce
Magnesium.
That's what I'm taking right now. I don't know if it's helping. I'm having migraines like every day, but
right. The magnesium didn't help me at all. But I had my third child, and I hadn't been diagnosed with chronic migraines yet. I just had chronic migraines. And like my head was pounding in the hospital, and I was like, "Can I have any painkillers?" And they're like, "No, because you don't have any painkillers prescription, and you're breastfeeding." They're like, "We can't give you anything." And the nurse was like, "But I can bring you some coffee." And I was like, "Will that help?" And she's like, "It helps sometimes." And I'm like, "I will take it." And then she brought me a cup of coffee, and it was like a magic elixir. Like the pain just alleviated itself, and I was like, "I will become a coffee connoisseur from this day on."
Yeah.
And that was almost 9 years ago. So
Wow. Yeah. Some of the migraines I get are like, I forget the name. Is it like, well, I'm like looking into it right now, but possibly like vestibular migraines where you get dizzy.
That's what I have.
So like there's some pain, but the world also goes like,
yeah.
so yeah. So if I could get rid of migraines, it'd be good. So I might maybe try coffee. We'll see. Maybe that's the
I
next
feel
try. She's about to meet with Martin. He can give her notes on our book trailer. He has a nice. I didn't know Martin did trailers. That's neat. Richard. Bloody Martin. Emma being positive. Love it. Ava joined us. Hi, Ava. She has a friend who writes Twilight fan fiction with some decent reviews following. It's so fun when she shows me the reviews. Fanfic readers are lovely. Yeah. I heard some good things about like the fan fiction and kind of like Wattpad and AO free kind of communities. I haven't done that yet, so I don't know. Anybody else use any of those?
No, not anymore. I wrote fan fiction back in the day when fanfiction.net was king and emperor of the land, and now it's like it's just a now it's just a lord on level with everyone else.
I know there's like a Hermione, and I'm not going to get into like the author of that series, but there's a Hermione and Draco fan fiction or something that got so popular, people are printing off copies and self-binding it. Like I've seen it online. Like, that's dedication. Like you really need to like a fan fiction to like print it and hand bind it. Like it's amazing.
That reminds me, when I was in high school, we used to print them and put them in the sleeve protectors and little binders and exchange them.
Aw, that's kind of neat.
Back in the 2000s.
Yeah, like I was listening to a podcast. Has anybody ever heard of my goodness, Fated Mates podcast? It's like by a romance author and romance reviewer, and they have these like trailblazer episodes where they bring in like trailblazers in the romance genre, and they kind of interview them of like how they started. And one of them, I'm forgetting her name. She was one of the first writers of colors, like one of the first like Black authors to get actually published by Harlequin. And she worked at State Farm. It was really funny. She's like, I love working at State Farm. I did writing on the side and I just enjoyed it. But anyways, it's worth listening to if you're like interested. But she was saying how she used to write stories like on paper and then write multiple copies of the stories on paper and then just hand them to her friends in her classroom. And I'm like, wow. That's like you have to love your craft to like write a story down multiple times and just kind of like hand it to people.
I didn't do it multiple times. I wrote it once and then I kept it to myself.
Yeah.
I did not share it.
I wrote mine on paper and then typed them up and printed them out at my friend's house. And would hand out those copies.
I'm just looking if I can find the name of this author, because I don't know. After listening to like, I don't read as many like Harlequin or mass published books, so I hadn't really heard of her before. But after listening to that episode, I'm like, okay, I need to read her books. And apparently she has like 3 movie deals coming out too, and I'm like, that's amazing. You know, like starting from like her explaining that she went to romance conventions and nobody wanted to publish her books to like, you know, kind of trailblazing a path. And yeah, it was really interesting if anybody wanted to listen to it. I'll try to find it maybe in the next print. Ava hasn't written or read any. Okay, yeah. I think AO3 is just fan fiction, if I understand correctly, and then Wattpad's like
No,
a
you
mix of
can
both.
post. You can post original work on AO3.
Okay. I didn't know that. Probably better than the actual book. I'm assuming that's about the Hermione and Draco fan fiction. I don't know. That would
No,
be
I
like
think
a
that was related to Twilight.
Yeah.
or Twilight. Yeah.
I stand by the opinion Twilight would have made an excellent horror. Edward is such a good monster antagonist.
I don't know. I
I
was
just don't
definitely
like it
a
as a
Twilight.
romance.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said I just don't like it as a romance. Granted, I have never read the novels myself, but I have read and heard a lot of the excerpts, and the way that she describes some of the scenes, I'm like, why didn't you just write a horror? It would have been so good. It would have been great. She could have even kept the thing with Bella becoming a vampire. It could have been an interesting twist on a horror. As a
Yeah.
romance, is but as a horror, there's potential there.
Yeah. I don't know, like, I'm conflicted. I was a huge Twilight fan when I was younger. Like, when it first came out, I was obsessed. And so kind of like, it holds a special place in my heart because like I made friends through it and like all this other stuff. I haven't read it since I was a teenager. I don't know what I would think of it now. But on the other side, I can kind of see if you tweaked a few things, it could be more horror. Like, I can see that too. Like,
My
thinking back on
mom
it.
my mom was really big into Twilight, and she read it. I remember listening to her read the excerpt where Jacob forces a kiss on Bella, and then she breaks her hand, and then her dad like is all like, "Yeah, go Jacob." And I was angry. I was like, "Why are you reading that to my sister's mother?" I was so I
Yeah.
was like, "No."
I think actually somebody was saying that she's coming out with new books. Stephanie Meyer? I have to look that up.
Perhaps.
But I think she's coming up with more books in the Twilight series and in a new series.
Mm.
So,
Perhaps.
if you are a fan.
I don't know how I feel about more Twilight books. I mean, I read them all. But I don't know if I was a fan or if I was like just a hater.
I was neutral. Like I didn't love them. I didn't hate them.
Yeah,
I
I
saw
was
the
just like,
movies. I enjoyed the first movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the first 3 books. The 4th book, I was like, throw it in the trash because I didn't like that she had me, and I didn't like that whole storyline. But
oh yeah, like the imprinting.
yeah, that part,
questionable.
I was just like, no, we need to stop.
I remember watching it, and I'm a monster. I'm a monster fan. Like I've always been huge into like monsters, movie monsters, mythology. I like them. I used to watch the old, Universal black and white movies with my grandpa, and then I watched like more modern horror and stuff with my dad. Like we saw Underworld in theaters together. I think I was 12. But yeah, so when I watched Twilight, and I really liked the way she did her vampires. Her vampires are very animalistic. They're very monstrous. They're very like cruel. Diamond sparkly skin is whatever, sure. I didn't actually have a problem with that. I thought it was kind of silly, but it's whatever. People can do what they can put their own spins on thing. The core of the vampire was a vampire, and that's all that mattered to me. So I enjoyed it for that. I wasn't the biggest fan of the way that she chose to do her shifters, but it was what it was. Yeah, and then I'm far more of a werewolf fan than I am a vampire fan. So as the series went on, and I just hated her werewolves, her shifters, and I was like, And then the love triangle, like the way it was handled, and then he's like, just like imprinted on her child, and I'm like, none of this is.
That part's very questionable. Yeah.
There is, I will say, a lot of people like give like shit on the spider monkey line from the movie. I think that is a very realistic, silly teen thing to say. Like that's how people in relationship talk. I don't know what to tell you.
But he's not a teen though. He's like,
I know he's not a teen. See, I feel like the actor did a really good job portraying somebody who is definitely not a teenager.
Yeah.
But the line that gets me is when Bella gets mad at Jacob for giving Renesmee a nickname. Oh, she's like, "You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster," and I'm like, that is a leap. That
Yeah.
Renesmee, Nessie, like Loch Ness Monster. That is a leap.
Yeah, the more you talk about it, the more I'm like, I don't know if I like it if I reread it. I'm like, I just want to preserve those happy memories.
Preserve them.
Okay, let's hear. She writes Jake and Bella stuff and left off the baby being bonded with her. Yeah, what we were just talking about. Yeah. Caffeine helps PMS too. My doll has caffeine in it. I don't know. Yeah. Though that could also be like, I think there's caffeine withdrawal, right? So possibly caffeine withdrawal. I don't know.
That could be. It depends on their
How much
caffeine
caffeine
tolerance
they really
and
do.
dependency. Yeah. I did look up because Vess.
Is it that? Did I say the right word?
Yeah, because I was like, this sounds like it deals with the blood system, and I know caffeine can be weird with blood, but yeah, it said the same thing. It says with like all other types of migraines, can trigger, can help. Roll the dice.
You never know. It's like a roulette. Will it help? Will it not help? I have to spin the wheel and see.
Yeah, I spent a year like playing with dietary triggers to try to figure out if I could remove anything from my diet to improve my migraines. The answer was no.
Let's see. Yeah, you have to read Twilight for university? Is that what course was that, Richard? Or like it might. I feel like I'm reading that wrong. So
it was creative writing that he studied. So I'm guessing it was like whatever was popular, reading popular fiction at the time.
And did the class like it or not? Like, I'm interested. You need to tell us more. She uses AO3, but Wattpad, has horror stories. That's also something I've heard some horror stories about Wattpad, but mostly about people stealing your work. And so I'm thinking I would post the chapter on Wattpad and my website. So then like people like, there's no question about who owns it. I don't know. But AO3, there's also people stealing work, right?
If you're looking for a place to post episodic writing, there's a lot of different apps. Like there have been apps and stuff before Kindle Vella was a thing. Kindle Vella is just, owned by Amazon, so they're really big. So you can see if there's another like app specifically for that with like the coin system and all of that.
Yeah. There's like one called Radish, I heard too. That's like some people are like yay, some people are nay. There's like conflicting, I think, on almost all of these. So who knows? I'll have to do more research before I officially post it. I like Twilight at the time. Yes, I did too, Ava. I loved Twilight at the time. I was a fan. To be honest, I was in for a penny, in for a pound, and got a pre-owned copy of 50 Shades of Grey in the same Amazon order. That I haven't read.
What you read in uni? Or was Twilight what you read in uni? Which book?
I think the 50 Shades was an extra
for
himself.
Yeah, I think Richard was just like in for a penny, in for a pound. If I'm reading Twilight, I'll read 50 Shades. I attempted to read 50 Shades out of curiosity and could not get past the first couple pages because there were so many typos, and I'm dyslexic. So for one thing, I'm dyslexic. So if I start to notice your grammar errors, there's already a problem. And for a second thing, if grammar errors get too bad, I physically cannot read because my brain just won't be able to process it.
There's typos in like the actual published 50 Shades?
Yeah.
Oh. I haven't read it. I haven't heard about that controversy. Usually,
I don't think it's a controversy. I think it's just.
But it was like traditionally published and edited, right? Or maybe
theoretically, it's one of those things where it had been so popular by the time that she got publishing rights that she probably would have been able to work in her contract that she could override an editor.
Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing here that it was originally, I Googled it, originally
was a
print
fan
on
fiction.
demand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or is
it was
print
a Twilight fan fiction, and then it got really popular, and she went through and changed the characters, and then self-published it, and then it got picked up by publishers.
on- Okay.
Very
Yeah, I see
cool.
like 2011 is when it was first published, apparently. So there's a lot of those coming up though. Like there's a lot of offers, like the Atlas 6 or whatever. That was an indie author who got like picked up by a traditional publisher. And there's a few of those that are coming out. The good news for us indie authors.
Yeah. There's hope.
There's hope. Okay. 348 kudos on her story or chapter 1 of her story on AO3. Is that a lot? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Anybody know? It sounds like a decent amount. I'm assuming it's like one
Yeah.
per person.
It's more than 10, so
It's more than
I'd say
10?
it's good. That's my number.
It's more than 10, it's good. Solid. Richard, all good news. He opened his document. Awesome. Ava still needs to do it.
We believe in you, Ava. Do it.
Yes. It's always that first step, just opening that document. It's always the hardest. I'm cutting myself off today. If I don't finish this reading, the author is getting a feedback document for whatever % of the manuscript I've read.
Fair.
Document will take 8-ish hours, so she's cutting herself at 2 p.m. It's an unpaid critique. Okay, yeah. I was going to say, like, how does that work? Like, if they're paying you for it. But if it's unpaid, that's still amazing that you're putting that much time in it. That's great. All right. The Twilight community is pretty big and bonded. I don't know. Like, is there still a big Twilight community? I would assume, maybe.
There was during the apology wave to Stephanie Myers, when a lot of people realized they had just hated on Twilight because misogyny, a lot of people tried to go back and give Twilight a chance, and it was kind of funny because a lot of people were like, well, I was a sexist dick, but no, it is still bad. that always cracked me. I know Dominic Noble went back and like he's still doing a series on the he does Lost in Adaptation, where he compares book adaptations and like talks about what they kept the same, what they changed, and if like it makes a good adaptation regardless of whether or not it is a good like movie or something.
Yeah, Twilight changed a lot of things, I think, in the publishing industry. Like, whether you like it or not, like, Twilight opened the doors to many things, I find. Like, the vampire craze and seeing that, like, you know, more teen books and everything. I think it did change the publishing industry in its own way, depending, no matter if you liked it or not. All right, I'm going to go for comments quickly because we should get into another sprint soon. Getting paid motivates you. My time isn't free. Yes, correct. Your time is worth it. Get to choose how to spend my free time. Yeah, I get that. Someone paying for my time makes it theirs, so that makes it move me faster. Yeah, that makes sense as well. Problematic. Fiction is fiction and all that. I think I'm like missing some of these things. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Right. And it kind of quit. Oh, it jumped. Okay. Read Twilight as an adult and liked it. Didn't love the movies. Took me a few years to be able to watch those with the casting. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the actors in the movies were upset. Like, Robert Patterson was like, I try to forget that time of my life, I think. Like, he really, like, is trying to, like, distance himself. Emma, did you say you liked those? I think I saw in the comments that you liked the Twilight books.
I quite like the Twilight books. Yeah, I read them many moons ago, but I wasn't a teenager, and I quite enjoyed them. I certainly read all of them very quickly. I didn't want to put them down.
Yeah, they're fast reads for sure.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they're the best written things ever, but I found them very entertaining.
Just kind of skipping here, and we'll talk about paying what you're worth, which is really true. How can we preach that small business freelance artists are worth paying if we refuse to pay our friends? Yeah.
Yes.
Like the whole, like, that's a whole topic that maybe we can jump into after the sprint because I have to do that soon. But like, there's so many things about writers shouldn't be paid. Like that whole thing where like people were plagiarizing books and they're like, well, we have a right as readers to plagiarize books as much as we want. I don't know if you guys have like read that whole controversy, but it made me so angry because I'm like, there's a lot of time and effort being put into books, right? So
Yeah.
we deserve to be paid for our time. Not to say you can't give away some stuff for free, but at the same time, like, yeah. Okay, so it's a creative writing degree, and it was a very underwhelming program of study. So that's for like the Twilight. Yeah. My uni faculty openly talked in condescending terms about popular fiction. Yeah. Lots of apps out there. I see offers mentioned. Radish I've heard of. Yeah, Radish is one that I've seen a lot. I have to look into more. 50 Shades was actually better. Okay, I don't know. I haven't read it, so I can't tell. 50 Shades was more geared to your age. Twilight was YA. Yeah, it started off as fan fiction. Yeah. It's printed very quickly because it was already so popular. That fandom is the reason it got so mainstream. Twilight is a huge community. Twihards, yeah. Twilight is a force to be reckoned with. Like I was saying, like I think it did make some changes in the publishing industry just because there were so many readers. Ava opened her document. Perfect. All we need now is a sprint. Yes, we're getting to that. I'm trying to get through the comments quickly.
Your social stream.
Perfect.
Chill
Yeah,
out.
that's true. All right, the notebook, the pen, everything's ready. Awesome. Okay.
The Twilight community, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will never say anything bad about the Twilight community. The community is amazing.
Yeah. Some communities, like the Sarah J. Maas community, is vicious. Like, I really like Sarah J. Maas's books, but like that community, like they'll destroy you. Like, yeah.
Never read her, so I have no opinion.
Yeah, but like if you look online, like the Sarah J. Maas community can be like very.
Oh, I believe you. I've heard things about the community.
Yeah.
I was just saying I have no opinion on her or her writing is all.
Yeah. 50 Shades and Twilight should be inspiration to all of us. If this can get published, there's hope for each and every one of us. That's true. I tell people all the time, there's a demographic for everything. There's
a reader for everyone.
Yeah, there is.
I like to tell people as long as you have as long as your characters are interesting enough, nobody cares if your writing is good.
Yeah. Or like there's
people
one I like to bring. Oh, go ahead.
People will forgive a bad story if they like the characters enough, but they will not forgive a good story with terrible characters.
That's true. That's a good point. There's a anthology that came out, and that's kind of one I always reference when I'm feeling like that there isn't a reader for everything. It was food shifters. So people that shifted into food items, and it was a romance anthology.
Someone was mentioning this recently. Whose stream was I on?
I'm not sure. Maybe it was. I mentioned it on Desiree's Twitch stream.
Okay.
So maybe
that's where it was.
Yeah. But my friend sent that to me. I'm like, oh my god, this can't be real. And I posted it in a Facebook group, and they're like, oh yeah, that is real. I was in it. People were like pitching and they were in it, and apparently it did really well. Like it sold really well, and so
I am not surprised in the least.
Yeah.
I just
food shifters.
horrible.
And the other ones I've seen like in the romance community are like the paperclip romance. There's a paperclip romance. And there's also which I haven't read any of these, by the way. I'm just like ones I've seen that have been circulating.
Romance with actual paperclips?
Yeah. So it was a whole
I just
series.
wanted to make sure I was understanding.
Yeah. The whole series, each book was a different office supply.
Look, I can't judge. My sister likes to make fun of how.
So what did you say, Morgan?
Are the paper are the office supplies in love? Like it's a story from the perspective of an office supply? Like
no, like a human in an office supply.
No. Oh,
Yeah, if it gets a human in an office supply based, I read the description of the book.
I like
I
my
didn't go
idea
further
better.
than that.
Morgan's idea is very heartwarming. I can't
Yeah.
judge because my sister likes to tease me about how romance writer oriented I am. Like, we were doing yard work one day, and for some reason my weed whacker kept getting caught in this very tall grass. And so as I was untangling the weed whacker, I was telling her, waxing poetically, about the forbidden love between the grass blades and the weed whacker, and how they are forced into this battle, but they do not want to war together. So the weed whacker was allowing the grass to like wrap around it and stuff. And my sister is like, why? And I'm like, because it's hot and I need something to entertain me.
Yeah.
Trying to get the grass.
There's also, have you guys heard about the coronavirus one?
Yeah, I know about those ones.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that was a big one, wasn't it?
Yeah. So definitely a reader for anything. Robert Pattinson's, sorry, I'm just trying to get through the comments so I can make sure we're getting our sprint in. It's like Bob Hoskins when he was asked to recollect playing Mario in 1983. I don't know. That goes over my head. I don't know if anybody wants to touch on that.
I saw that film. I love that film.
Yeah, I wanted to buy like I wanted to try to buy that film so I could watch it, and it's Nintendo has attempted to wipe it from the face of the planet. It's so hard to find.
Oh man.
Yeah, a lot of there's also authors that try to forget that their adaptations ever happened. Like I know Rick Riordan was like that Percy Jackson adaptation. He hated it, and then he's doing a new one. He's like, I'm only doing it if I have like creative control. So it can go both ways.
Mm-hmm.
CB is here. Hi, CB. All right, a couple more questions. We could go through this quickly. What would your fandom be like if your book baby became a unicorn book that everyone heard of? I don't know.
They better be nice or I will be displeased with them.
I think my fans would be lovely. They'd be all sweet and just wanting happy endings for everyone.
You can't control them though, right? Like Sarah J. Maas seems nice, but like she can't control the people in her family.
Oh no, I didn't say I'm nice. I said I want them to be nice. There's a difference. I don't know. I'm writing like at the moment I'm writing Queer Shifter, so I presume many of my initial fans will be thirsty shifter readers, which are generally lovely people. So
yeah, but like what Richard says, like I would take like some responsibility in terms of like if I shared something and that post made my fans think me to attack somebody else. Like this is like like way out there, like not even close to where I am right now.
I won't take responsibility for my fans, but I won't sit quietly by if I feel like the fandom as a whole is. Because at the end of the day, I can't control them, but I can use my platform to be like, hey, that's not cool. Please do not. So.
Yeah, I think like that's like the difference there. Like you can't control them, but you can be like a PSA, like, hey, I said that I wasn't a fan of XYZ. Don't go attack this person, or like I think there is a responsibility there. Yeah. I guess that's true, but I think there is some responsibility. Some readers love to talk about books they love. Some readers love to talk about books they hate. To get infamous, you must target both sorts. Takes notes. Why am I not infamous already? I don't know. I gotta work on it.
You're not trying hard enough, Richard.
Yeah.
Which is saying something because you try very hard.
Kind of like Draco Malfoy plus an apple, but with office supplies. I mean, it combines a bunch of stuff that's been popular, so you never know. You staple documents with Swish and Flick. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I meant that there's a book called Kissing the Virus.
Yeah.
And I think it was created just to be a spoof, but it was so like out there that people like they actually made quite a bit of money, I think. But they're very, very short.
Chuck Tingle is like renowned for writing parody smut. So there's that.
Yeah, but like I'm looking it up, like it got like a lot of well, not that much, but 3,000 reviews, which is not bad. Like it's not bad at all. Terribly Bad Super Mario that came out when I was 11. That's the 1993 one, the one that I have not seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emma writes lovely things. Look, compliment to Emma. She was alive in everything and never heard it. I wasn't alive in 1993, so that's probably why I haven't heard of it. Question: can the fandom control the author?
No, not this author. Like, do what I want, motherfuckers.
That's an interesting spin, though. Like, you don't think you'd be influenced at all? Like, by your fans?
I've had readers before. Like, when I was on fanfiction.net, it's actually kind of funny. My husband and I met through fanfiction.net, reading and reviewing. And I wrote a joke chapter beginning because I got tired of him telling me that the main couple needed to just hook up and kiss now. So I wrote a joke beginning of a chapter where the MC died and her love interest and her brother got together instead. And then I was like, I'm sorry to everybody else. I did this specifically to fuck with so-and-so. And then like on to the real chapter. So like, I am already aware that I am just going to write what I want, how I want.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like, I think it'd be hard not to feel the pressure. Like, I wouldn't want my fans to control what I write. I want to write what I write, same thing. But I feel like even if you like try your best not to, there's still that pressure, right? Like there could be pressure from fans to do certain things, like publish faster, or
well, they're just gonna have to
write
wait.
more books, or
I have a chronic illness. They're gonna
right.
I'm writing at my speed.
Right.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
that's just one of those things where it's like, one, you would have to be like that immersed within the social media. So you could like, if you take a step back from it and don't give them access to you, or just limit their access to you, there isn't really anything they can do. But also there's going to be like both negative and positive with what you want, or with all that. But we're also writing books, so it's like it's not like a TV show, right? Where fans tend to have a lot of influence on TV shows because of producers and they want good ratings. So like the writers of TV shows are in a way could be at the whims of the fandom, because if certain characters get more popular, producers want those characters to get more screen time, and thus writers have to figure out how to add those in. We're writing books, it's not the same. The readers and stuff don't have access to the unpublished work until it is published. So by the time that they like get there, it's already said and done for the most part. The only like way it could change is like if you're writing a series and like, fans really, really love this one character. So then you decide, okay, maybe I'll make that side character more important. But then like, I don't know, that's just up to the individual person. I know myself, and I know how I handle feedback and everything, and I know that I would not be influenced by that. I'm still going to do what I want to do. Like, my sister's read my writing since we were kids, and no matter what, I still kill off her favorite characters. Like, if I planned their death, they're going to die, and my sister's going to cry, and that's just how it's going to be. So it's like, so yeah, I can say very confidently. Do I judge other writers who are influenced or feel that pressure? No, not at all. Everybody's different, right? But that's just how I see it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else have comments on that, or?
I think the only way that I could be influenced to do anything would be, oh, we really like this side character. Can you write their story? And if I enjoy the side character, then I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, I could do that because I would enjoy that. But I would only be influenced if that was like something that I wanted to do anyway, or if that was like a cool thing that I could do. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, you like to be like this character and this character be together. Well, if that's not how I planned the story, that's not happening.
Yeah.
That makes
Too bad.
sense.
I agree
Yeah.
with that. I would give additional content for my fans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
If they want that, then I'd
Bonus.
consider it. But other than that, like, no.
So it's like
Yeah,
positive influence.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I had somebody who, well, a few people who said that they really enjoyed one of my books, but they were sad because they didn't get to see the hero and heroine get married at the end of it. And so I'm in the process of writing a novella for them with the wedding, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, if people ask for it.
Yeah, because that's like, I want more of this. And then you could, sell more books because they wanted it anyway.
Yeah,
Guaranteed
you got to
sales.
buy a copy. You asked for it.
Yeah. There's like a balance for sure, I think, like between like positive influence and negative influence, and like where to draw the line, because you don't want to like add too much to your plate either, right? So
Yeah, if it's demand, it's a complete no-go for me. It's like, don't care what you demand. Demands are not welcome. Thank you.
yeah.
I will also add an asterisk that this doesn't mean that my ego is not big enough that if I agree with criticism or if I find it's like, yeah, I kind of like do that, that I wouldn't try to improve my future writing. So that counts as an influence, though I don't think it's the influence we were talking about, but I just wanted to add that asterisk there.
All right. I think we're going to jump into the next sprint. Do you mind doing it, sharing it again, or just like starting it again?
Let me go. Do we want to use the same timer?
Sure. Yeah. We'll do another sprint, and then time's almost up for the stream, so then we'll chat a bit more and close it up after.
All right.
All right. Happy sprinting. And time is up. How did everybody do?
I made a cup of tea, and I did do a
Nice.
little bit of writing, but I also went to find my husband. Some husband.
I added 354 words to my outline because I
That's pretty good.
filled out a scene.
Nice.
I got 586.
Whoa, very nice.
I just continued editing my video, so.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I'm getting a migraine, I think, talking about migraines.
Oh
So
no.
I'm just like, rest and then, be good to end the stream.
Yeah.
Fun times of chronic migraines. I know it's not fun.
I feel that if you need to end early, that's totally fine too.
That's okay. I think actually we're supposed to end around 11, so we're almost done anyway. So I'll go quickly through the comments, and then I guess we could just close it off, and everybody can let everybody know who they are, and we can finish it off. So during the sprint, Stephanie popped in. Thank you. Hi. Unfortunately, we're almost done, but hello. Thank you for dropping by for a bit. She is making late breakfast of pancakes and coffee. That sounds amazing.
Yum yum.
Sounds really good. 473 words for Richard. That's good.
I don't believe him.
You don't believe him?
half of those on Discord to me anyway.
He just copy pasted his messages to you and put them in a word counter.
And then added I'm a fish, I'm a fish, I'm a fish 100 times.
Words are words. Got more page read and our page and a half handwritten notes about it. Oh, that's good. Morgan wins. Yeah.
Yay.
She's done so many words.
All the words.
This was fun. Yeah. I think I need to stream more. I do enjoy streaming. Okay, so I feel like that's most of the comments. I think the next productivity stream is coming up at 11, so like in a few minutes. So if you want to go and join that, Sam can confirm if that is correct.
Hold on. Let me get this.
Okay,
schedule.
sorry.
I'm looking around a cat. Like she's toward the bottom of my screen and I work toward the top, which is just fine. But then like when I need to go click on another app,
Okay.
that's when like I have
Pull it
to
up
do
too.
this. Oh, it's right here. I just have to find the right graphic to click on.
So I think I can see here. So the storyteller. So at 11, there's a productivity sprint on the Hex Library channel,
Yes.
and then the next social sprint is at 3. If you guys want to join that. So
Which is Emma's.
Oh, that's me. That's me. I was like, oh, that sounds good. Oh. And Morgan is going to be on there with me and Hananya.
yeah.
And we also have SD and Panda, Andy from Easy Graphics. So it should be really fun.
Yeah, that sounds like a great
Ooh,
group
sounds
of people.
like a good time.
Yeah. So a lot coming up, more writing to do if you want to do more writing or socializing.
This
yeah, I
might
guess we'll
be
do-
my last. This might be my last stream that I can come to before the closing ceremony because it's Father's Day. And I
Yeah.
promised my husband.
I should say Happy Father's Day to my father.
We celebrated Father's Day for my dad on Friday.
Yeah, we're doing it
But
this afternoon.
We did that because my family was like, we will now do grandfathers on the Friday before Father's Day so that the current generation of fathers can have Saturday. And the grandfathers were like, sounds good to us.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
we're doing like a barbecue, so that should be nice. Just
Nice.
I'll get together. So, all right. Do we want to do kind of our outros?
Sorry,
Sure.
Eva.
Oh, wait. Look at the comment first. My husband knows he's lost the day to hit this edit. He's off tomorrow too, so he gets his way done.
Oh,
That's fair
That's nice, though.
compromise.
Yeah, it's a good compromise.
are we doing
I'm
out?
Sorry.
Oh, you want me to go? I'm so confused. Are we doing outros now?
Oh yeah, sorry. I
Okay.
heard somebody talk and I was about to say, so do you want to start, Morgan? And I'm like, oh, somebody had something else to say. So do you want to start us off with our outros?
Yeah. So, hello everyone. My name is Morgan Lee. I stream every other Monday on my channel at 8 a.m. I will be on Emma's stream, and then I'll also be on Shannon ST Houston stream after that. And yeah, come hang out on my channel. That's it.
Well, thank
Emma, do
you
you wanna
so
say?
much for hosting, and thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Emma Bennett. I'm a UK-based writer, and I write contemporary romance and occasional children's picture book. I also have a YouTube channel, and I am very, very close to 1,000 subscribers. So please subscribe. We have a lot of fun over there. There's all kinds of things going on, and I muck up a lot. I really do. So it's amusing from that point of view.
Nice. I'm Hananya. I am a multi-genre writer, so I just kind of do whatever, and I vlog that on my channel. So come hang out with me there, and yeah, also a podcast, stuff like that. You can all find it on my channel links and stuff. So that's me.
And links below as well. If anybody wants to look at the links.
And I am Writing Mom Samantha L Nasset. On my channel, I talk about writer things, parent things, and writer parent things. On Mondays, I host live streams very similar to this where we chat, have a good time, get some work done. I have samples of my writing on my website, samanthaalnasset.com, where I have a spooky flash fiction and a murderous villain short story. And if while you're there, you want to keep up to date with all things Sam, you can sign up to my newsletter. I also host a writing group on Discord via my Coffee Cookie Ko-Fi, and I help co-organize and run this event, this whole shebang. And I hope everybody is having a good shower so far, and that you achieve all your goals.
Thank you.
Maya.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank all my lovely co-hosts for co-hosting with me today. I appreciate it. And obviously thank you to Sam and Hex Library, so Jess, for hosting this amazing event. And my name is Maya. I write in a bunch of different genres under my name, Maya Lemaire. I'm trying to point at it, but I don't know. I write children's books and nonfiction stories, and I also have a penning where I write romance books. On my channel, I talk about all things stories, creativity, and empowerment, and I'm going to be posting videos very shortly. I'm working on a bunch that are in the process of being uploaded. So if you're interested in that, you can subscribe down below. And again, my links and the links of everybody on the screen here is also down below if you want to check it out. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the chat or another time soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.